Farting competition. Once upon a time, there lived Mrs. Farter in a town. When she farted, the door clattered, the roof moved up and down, the pillars shook, and the dishes were broken into pieces. And when Mr. Breakwinder broke wind, the woodpile fell, the branches broke, the rice bags dropped, and the chicken ran away. Mrs. Farter said, "There's nobody who can beat me at farting." Mrs. Farter bragged around the town, and this made Mr. Breakwinder very angry. Part 2. Mr. Breakwinder said, "What? How dare she challenge me?" Mr. Breakwinder crossed the river to meet Mrs. Farter. When he arrived at Mrs. Farter's house, there was only her son playing by the furnace. Mr. Breakwinder said, "Hey, where's your mom?" "She went to the party in the neighbors." "Why are you looking for my mom?" Mr. Breakwinder said, "People say your mom's the most powerful farter. Is that true?" "Of course. Nobody can beat her at farting." Mr. Breakwinder got really angry at that word. His face turned red with anger. He stomped his feet and shouted. Mr. Breakwinder said, "Take this. Take this, you sassy boy." Mr. Breakwinder broke wind hard. Then there came a strong wind, and it blew the boy into the furnace, through the winding hypocaust, and out of the long, slim chimney. Right at that moment, Mrs. Farter came home. She was surprised to see her son. He was crying with dirt all over his body. Mrs. Farter got angry and went after Mr. Breakwinder with a laundry paddle. Mrs. Farter shouted at Mr. Breakwinder, but Mr. Breakwinder had already crossed the river. Mrs. Farter said, "Take this, you cranky man." Angry, Mrs. Farter put the laundry paddle right in front of her bottom and farted really hard. The wind from her farting flew the laundry paddle across the river to Mr. Breakwinder's head. Mr. Breakwinder said, "Ouch! I'm really sorry. You win. You are the best farter." After that, Mrs. Farter and Mrs. Breakwinder and Mr. Breakwinder became good friends. They helped neighbors to move the house and blew away the garbage in the town. What amazing farters they are.